A 1 and a 2 and the 1, 2, 3, 4. Bottom boys, bottom boys, bottom boys,
Bottom boys,
bottom
in the bottom place.
We're here in the bottom.
Doing bottom boys, but no, this one's horrible.
Yeah,
Bottom boys. I really didn't come in on that one.
no. To be
do it
fair,
again?
I mean, we could run it back.
That's okay.
No, I think it's fine.
It's a bottom boys.
I think
Bottom boys
sometimes we gotta find
in
the bottom.
of the bottom place.
Bottom boys.
Gotta find the bottom place.
They won't all be winners, but hey, we are the bottom boys. The BBC is back. Hope you're ready to write it. Yeah. I just got back from old, beautiful Colorado, which, let me tell you, is not as beautiful as it gets credit for. Most of Colorado, incredibly desolate. After driving through 5 hours of Kansas, realizing you don't get to see the mountains for another 3 hours is the most grating, depressing thing ever. And as a weed smoker, realizing that there's not just dispensaries right across the border is insane. What? Why are these small towns not just raking it in, selling weed to the Kansans?
Right,
It's
that's
insane.
crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, we didn't get weed until we were past Colorado Springs.
Good Lord.
It was wild, but regardless.
Sorry.
Hey,
Did you
listen,
start twitching?
it was a struggle. No, I was fine. We're fiending so bad. No. But it was a shock. You hear so much about Colorado and weed, there's not more of it there than there is here in Missouri. I actually think we might have more dispensaries.
Oh wow, we're trying to overtake.
Yeah, the weed's cheap though. Weed's cheap. Speaking of weed, I've been thinking a lot.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I've been thinking a lot about my underwear.
Oh, your underwear, huh?
Yeah, it's been bothering me. It's not just because I was a fat guy hiking and getting sweaty or whatever.
It's got a lot of holes?
Yeah, I mean it's not holes. It's
Holy?
not wedgies. I mean it does have some streaks. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't. It's the cornucopia. I wear Fruit of the Looms. And I'm looking at the tag, and it's the new one doesn't have cornucopias on it. Yeah,
you got the whitey tighties.
Well, I mean they're tight. They're not white, but. No, but
whitey streakies.
Yeah, whitey streakies.
Streakies?
They're a little more light brown at this point, a little gray. But no, there's no cornucopia on the tag, right? And I was talking about the cornucopia on the Fruit of the Loom tags. When I say that, is that how you remember a Fruit of the Loom underwear tag? There's fruit, there's an apple, some grapes, whatever, and then there's a cornucopia behind it.
When I think about it, I could picture it either way.
Interesting. Yeah, and I feel
when you're saying that.
I feel like I can
if
too.
If you were to just ask me to describe it,
you might not throw the cornucopia in, huh?
I do see it. In my head, I do see a cornucopia, but
yeah.
I also can see it without. Is that weird?
No, I think that's normal because I thought they just got rid of it, right? I thought they got rid of the cornucopia and that the new tag just didn't have it. But then, as I'm looking online to try and find a picture of this tag with the cornucopia, I start realizing that everything I'm looking at is on websites about Mandela effects. And suddenly I realized that I was the subject of another Mandela effect.
You've been Mandela.
Yeah, and then this isn't the first time that's happened. I'm a big fan of Mandela effects even. I was excited when this one happened a little bit because I have a very, very clear memory of this. Very clear. All my underwear was fruit with a cornucopia. And what a fucking weird thing to just make up, right? Why would I pull cornucopia?
Right.
The only reason I've ever thought about a fucking cornucopia.
That Ricolite commercial.
Well,
right?
I don't even remember that.
Right, and they're bringing
blowing the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ricola, or I don't even. I'm not even
they got that
pronouncing
big
it
long horn. Yeah. But for me, the only times I thought of it was Thanksgiving and my fucking underwear. That's the only times I thought of a cornucopia.
They do it on Thanksgiving, and even in Thanksgiving, it's not full of fruit.
No, it's pumpkins and wheat and shit. It's fall shit.
You don't
think
fruit
why
comes
would
in
I?
a cornucopia?
Why would
That's
my
weird.
brain invent that?
That is weird.
And so, because this is happening, I think today we got to get to the bottom of Mandela
Of your
effects.
underwear?
Not just the bottom of my bottom, not just the bottom of the fabric protecting this luscious, luscious lump of man. No, I just mean Mandela's in general, right? Mandela effects. For people who don't know, it's an observed phenomenon when a large segment of society all misremembers something small in the same way. And like the reason it's called Mandela Effect is because people shared a false memory of Nelson Mandela dying in prison well before he ever became like president of South Africa and all that stuff. I don't have that one. I'm not really old enough to super remember Nelson Mandela in prison. I do remember him as, a leader or whatever. I remember him getting old. So I think it's interesting that it surprised so many people when he died.
Yeah, I think that's weird because it's number one, he was old, right? Anyway?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Old people die. So there's a lot of like Abe Vigoda.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody always assumes he's dead, right?
Yeah.
And I think he is dead now.
I think he is now,
finally,
but yeah, that was the old Conan joke, is Abe Vigoda was still around.
Yeah, and then so like old people are like, are they still alive?
Yeah, I feel so. I'm with you on that one.
If he would have died for some other reason, then that would have been.
Yeah,
if he was like young and
like if you thought he got assainated, but he actually
died
of
like
polio or something.
It was like The Rock, and he's like,
yeah,
The Rock's dead. Yeah, everybody believes it. Then I would have been.
Yeah, like the Beatles never existing from that one movie. It's kind of that's what it reminds me a bit. Yeah, like
that whole movie is a
whole
Mandela
movie.
Effect.
Yeah, it's a
Good Lord.
And for me, Mandela, like that's a big person. Like that's a person you see on TV and shit. Like so, I get why it got named after that, but like that seems like such a big thing for everyone to misremember. And the Beatles is kind of the same way. That's a guy experiencing like a mega Mandela effect.
Oh man, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and
crazy.
I'll probably bring that one back up a little later too, with one of my theories of why I think all this is happening.
I did look into that Mandela deal. Apparently somebody even wrote like a news article mentioning he was dead or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
like
some of the best stuff.
Early 90s or something. So it was.
It makes me wonder if it was like one of those, how they like preload like eulogies for people, and like sometimes it gets out now. I wonder if it was like an old school version of that where it just went to print and they didn't know. But either way, I love like those old cool details that like feel like remnants of another world to some extent.
Yeah, I looked up, looking up on the. I don't know if we want to talk about this now or not.
Let's go. Let's just go with
on
it.
your underwear.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about the underwear.
Yeah, on your. Let's talk about.
Yeah, let's talk some undies.
What's under there?
Underwear.
Gotcha.
What do you eat
Got
under
him.
there?
Drop mic. But I read while looking it up that when they did the patent on it,
yeah,
or the trademark on the
like the logo
on the logo,
yeah,
that they in the wording you have to enter the words, and the words for it described it or the picture that they sent in.
Right, you have to describe
put it
it
in the picture. And then you have to have a description. And then they enter the picture, and the picture was the logo that it is without the cornucopia.
just the regular fruit.
Yeah. But then in the description, when they read it, it actually mentions it being in a cornucopia.
See, that's why this one blows my mind, because that's not even just like the only hidden like false like evidence.
Yeah. How could people even think that that's in a damn cornucopia when they mention it in a And I don't think that's a normal thing to think fruit and cornucopia. We've already said.
Yeah, that's not like a thing you just pull.
Yeah.
And there's
freaky.
like an old album where someone was making like a parody of Fruit of the Loom, right? They were doing a joke. It was like some guy playing flute. I don't remember exactly, but I'm sure if you Google old album guy playing flute, Fruit of the Loom, Mandela Effect.
He used Flute of the Loom.
Was that what it was?
Yeah, Flute of the Loom.
And he literally had the cornucopia in his parody. Like, and this is from the 70s.
Playing flute music.
Yeah. So at some point, post Flute of the Loom, we shifted universes and never got back.
Wow.
And I think the most famous ones, right? You've got what's it called? Berenstain Bears and Berenstein Bears. I feel like that's the first time outside.
Are you, Matt?
Okay, let's hear it.
Are you telling me that the Berenstain Bears are dead?
No, I don't think they're dead. Well, one of them is. Either the Berenstain or the Berenstein.
The dad bear?
One of them.
Yeah, he
dead.
didn't have a good...
Yeah, he didn't. He ate too much red meat.
Yeah.
High cholesterol on the dad bear. There's actually a book called Daddy Bear's Third Heart Attack, and they took it off the shelves real quick. No, I'm telling you that we all remember the Berenstein Bears, which is how we always said it growing up. We said Berenstein. We did not say it any other way. We didn't say Berenstain. The first time I heard someone say Berenstain, I thought they had gotten smacked in the head too hard. The way it was written changed. And everyone I know from my generation originally Berenstein people, and that was the first one I feel like the millennials got real fucked up.
These are old books, though. It's not like they're new.
They've been around forever. Yeah, totally.
But
do you remember an A or an E?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I couldn't pronounce it either way.
That's what Amber said.
And I wouldn't have read it. I would just do the Bernstein and do the mumble.
Bernstein Burrs.
And do it with the mumble so people...
You know, the Bernstein
Oh, he said
Burrs.
it right. Or he said what he was supposed to say.
Bernstein, yeah.
Yeah, it looks really... Especially when you're
it's
little.
It's like saying Worcestershire sauce. Or Worcestershire.
Yeah, so I just mumbled it in, so...
And I mean...
So I can't tell you which one I remember it as, really.
And so, I mean...
It's another one like the... Fruit. I don't know.
And I feel like Berenstain, like, that leads to, like, a whole category of these. You've got Flintstone. Like, does it have a T or does it not? Right,
because they're close words.
Is it Oscar Mayer, Meyer, Mayer? That one never got me because of the song. My baloney has a first name.
Yeah, right. I can't spell baloney, though.
Well, yeah. And
even with the song.
Baloney, lasagna, doesn't make sense. Get these Italian words out of my language.
I have some. Let's see here that I remember. A couple that get me.
Yeah.
Okay. Is ramen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You pronounce ramen as ramyun.
Ramen. I pronounce ramen as ramyun.
Yeah,
That's how it is.
I feel like that one maybe is just like a personal only you Mandela effect, but we'll go with it. If anyone else out there thinks ramen is ramyun, we want to hear about it.
Get in the comments.
Yeah, get in those comments. We want to hear about your ramen.
Is there comments on this?
I mean, if I clip it for... Yeah, I think probably. They can email us. I don't...
All you ramen freaking lovers, truthers, get in the fucking comments.
Ramen from the Romulans.
Another one is... Truthers. Another one is the... Reese's Pieces.
You're just gonna list all of the things that you say dumb, aren't you?
I'm not the only one. I cannot be the only one that says Reese's Pieces.
Reese's Pieces. So you believe that originally Reese's...
Reese, it's not Reese's?
Well, his name's not Reese, so an apostrophe S would be Reese's, right?
Reese's.
Which rhymes with pieces as it's spelled the normal word. You think that they called it Reese's Pieces.
Well, I guess when you put it that way. But if his name is Reese's,
you're right. If his name is Reese's, you would say Pieces though. I feel like that sounds more like a strip mall place that like fixes your phone when you break it. Welcome to Reese's Pieces.
And I guess
you break, I fix.
And I guess if I actually read it,
it
says pieces, I guess, right?
I mean, I feel like that's one of those things that, like, when you say it a million times, maybe you just never read it. Like, growing up, Johnny always called KFC Chicken Hut because of Pizza Hut. And I think he was pretty old when I was just like, it's called KFC, right? Like, and he was just like, I mean, I guess I did know that, but, like, also I kind of thought it was also called Chicken Hut. It's just one of those things that carry over.
Chicken Hut?
How do you say werewolf?
I'm correctly.
That's what I thought. How is it correctly pronounced?
We should probably get...
Let's talk about SHAZAM.
SHAZAM, okay. SHAZAM, let's talk about SHAZAM.
So this is the one that, like, after the Berenstain Bears and the Berenstein Bears, this is the one that really got me, like, into paying attention to these Mandela effects, because there was a movie in the 90s starring Sinbad playing a genie. And then if I say that sentence to anyone I know and ask them the name of that movie, they will say SHAZAM. That movie does not exist, which I think the internet has well established at this point. I'm pretty sure Sinbad even did like a parody joke, Funny or Die thing for like a trailer for this non-existent movie. But I can ask anyone who's not well informed on the Mandela Effect yet, I can ask them, do you remember the movie in the 90s starring Sinbad as a genie? And they'll say yes, and I'll say, what was it called? And they'll say SHAZAM. Now, I get it. Shaq. Right? Shaq was a genie. He was the genie in Kazam. But no one I ask says Kazam.
Shaq
Nobody.
looks nothing like Sinbad.
And Shaq and Sinbad do not look the same. Yes, Shaq's what, 3 Sinbads? Plus he's muscular because he's one of the best athletes of all time.
With no hair.
Right. So, and no one said Blazam. They didn't say Guzam. They didn't make a different. They said specifically SHAZAM, and that movie doesn't exist.
Blazam? You thought someone would say Blazam?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's other things they could have said. They could have called it any word.
I will say this. In that movie, Sinbad,
Yeah.
I remember when I was little, like in the 70s, there was like a 70s movie. It's like Sinbad and something, Sinbad and
like the Seven Seas?
7 Seas or something like that.
Yeah, the pirate.
And then and he's fighting Cyclops, and then to fight Cyclops, this guy brings out a genie lamp, and he like rubs it, and it's not. And it's actually Shaq inside there. You're right. There's Shaq inside.
And then Shaq came out back in the 70s. Baby Shaq.
You're right. It wasn't
Blue
Sinbad.
Chipper.
It was Shaq inside. No, but it was a little kid or something. It's like a little kid genie.
Right.
In the 70s. But I think it was like a mashup of all those Persian folk tales or whatever, like Alibaba and and Aladdin
and like
Sinbad
Odysseus because he's like fighting
Sinbad.
the Cyclops. Like yeah.
Yeah, so it's like a mashup of all those stories. So maybe that's where
That
it
could
kind
be-
of gets confusing because everybody's aware of the 70s movie where
Okay, I know you're slightly joking, but hear me out. Because stuff like that was like on cable or regular TV and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
It only takes like a clip of some stuff to stick in your head and make you misremember.
and then you see Kazam and then it like
Now, it's crazy that the same thing could make such large groups of people misremember, I think. But there's something to that. Like, little things that could have just caused you to... Like, one of them being, what's the fucking Star Wars? Darth Vader. He says... he doesn't
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah,
deal.
but he doesn't say
yeah.
Luke. He
Yeah.
says, no, I am your father. Which,
Right.
that's such an easy thing to
Right,
misremember
he's
because...
talking to Luke.
Right, and all it takes is what Tommy Boy, Chris Farley says, Luke, I am your father,
Yeah.
into the fan. It takes one other movie that like misquotes it to make you think the original said the thing. So that one doesn't get me as much, you know?
Right, because it's just a misremembering of things.
Yeah.
It's easy to misremember. But back on
Let's go back to SHAZAM.
Let's
This
go
is
back
important.
to SHAZAM because I knew we were doing the Mandela Effect, and I knew that the SHAZAM
Has
was
to come up.
was
Yeah.
going to come up. So I started looking at it. Then I started getting into a rabbit hole of SHAZAM.
Okay, I love
Okay?
this.
So and there's first of all, what's the DC hero named SHAZAM?
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Yeah, his name's not Shazam.
Yeah.
But if you ask somebody, people
They will
say
call
his
him
name is
Shazam.
Shazam.
Yeah.
Right. That's a fucking Mandela Effect right there.
I mean, the
think.
new movies are even called SHAZAM, aren't they? Yeah,
I
which
think
is
they
not
had
his
to-
name. He's
I think
Captain
he literally
Marvel.
had to go change his name to Shazam sometimes and call him Shazam
Because of
sometimes
the Marvel
because
thing, potentially.
So many people call him Shazam because that's what he said. But
Right.
his name wasn't Shazam. It
Yeah.
was Captain Marvel.
That'd be like calling Doctor Strange fucking abracadabra.
Yeah. Abracadabra. I don't even know why they don't do that.
They should.
That's
here's fucking abracadabra. He's fucking coming, man. Or that'd be calling what's the Wolverine one with the claws? That'd be like calling him Snicked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thwick, thwick.
Yeah.
That's Spider-Man. Thwick, thwick, thwick. Another Shazam Mandela Effect.
Uh-huh.
Sinbad
Yeah.
and Neil deGrasse Tyson,
Yeah.
same person.
Okay. Well, I need to hear more.
Did you ever seen them in the same room?
I have not seen them in
Yeah.
the same room.
They look eerily similar.
I'm gonna have to like see them side by side before I agree, because I feel like Neil deGrasse Tyson has fairly distinct
like
features
Sinbad.
that are not Sinbad features.
Very Sinbad-y.
I mean, you've looked it up recently, so I'm gonna trust you right now.
Yeah, I've confused him often.
I want,
and
you're like, oh yeah, that's Sinbad, world famous astrophysicist.
And I've never seen him in the same spot, and I don't even believe they've been in the same spot.
Oh, that's Neil deGrasse Tyson, world famous '90s stand-up comic.
Yep.
You remember?
It probably looks more like if Sinbad and Carlton had a kid.
Y'all remember first kid with Neil deGrasse Tyson? I legitimately, as soon as we're done here, I'm gonna go like look both those guys up, because that's
also another man, Sinbad. I think it should be the Sinbad effect.
This is the Sinbad effect. Yeah,
I think it should be the Sinbad effect.
Be.
Here's another one. If you were to ask me, is Sinbad dead? I would say I'm
not sure.
I think so. Sure. You know what? I think I read somewhere he's dead. He's not dead. He's had like a stroke or something. But
is that one of the things that like people think is that he's dead? Or just that you probably did, at least.
Matt, I'm not going to lie to you on these things.
You can.
When I say do research.
Okay, fair. But I mean, he is one of those guys that because he was so popular for such a long time that if you don't look him up, I could see people thinking maybe he had been dead already.
And he's not like a guy that should be dead, I guess.
Yeah,
but I would think he's dead. Yeah,
because
he's dead.
Well, sure, he's a comedian from the '90s.
But he didn't have a stroke.
He
didn't have a stroke.
Yeah,
pre COVID or something. I don't know. But I think he's walking now.
If somehow he gets back up and puts out a special, I'll watch it. I'm in. Yeah. Sinbad put out a new special.
Neil deGrasse Tyson put out a new special.
Yeah, honestly, if Neil deGrasse Tyson puts out a 1-hour special on HBO and he's trying to tell jokes, I don't care how bad it is. I'll watch the whole damn thing. I'm ready for it. Neil, I want to see it. I'll help you. I'll write jokes for you. I don't care. Let's go. Your boy got kicked off too soon on that show. He got kicked off so quick.
Oh, he did.
Amber knew that was Neil deGrasse Tyson's son on Claim to Fame.
Episode
1. Episode 1, because we had watched Family Feud, and the kid just has... Anyways. Watch Claim to Fame. It's dumb, but it's funny.
Yeah, Claim to Fame. Yeah, within 10 minutes, I pulled out the Chris... Is his name Chris?
Yeah,
on there?
Donny Osmond.
Oh.
Sorry, spoiler alerts. If anyone else is as dumb as the people in the house and can't figure those clues out.
Well, I guess
they thought Elton John was from Utah. I'm so mad about that.
They're all young. They are young people.
They are young.
So they don't really know.
But still, Sir Elton John from Utah. Sir. Come on, guys. I agree. This should be the Sinbad effect.
Did you just hear what I listed off?
I mean, yeah. I got a handful of like big ones that are non-Sinbad related that I feel like we should mention too. Looney Tunes is spelled Tunes, not Tooons. It's not like cartoon. It's Looney Tunes because it started as Merry Melodies. It was actually cartoons that were designed to be played over mute.
Spell Looney Tunes without changing?
Well, they changed it to Tunes because the cartoons were designed to play over music. So when they first started, it was just animation over music. So it was Merry Melodies, Looney Tunes, and then cartoons came out of that, but it was spelled differently.
Since this was music, I guess.
That's the only one that I read on this list that I'm like, I kind of see why that would be that. Because Curious George, a monkey never had a tail. Monkeys have tails. Apes do not, but Curious George, a monkey, never had a tail. That fucked me up too. Monopoly Man, no monocle. Never a monocle. Why? He's the richest guy in the world. Rich people wear monocles.
Yeah. If you're rich and you're not wearing a monocle, you're a piece of shit. And you're fake rich.
Yeah. You got to have a monocle. You got to have a top hat. You got to have a cane. You got to have a breasted little, like, jacket vest combo. And you need a pocket watch. If you don't have those things, you're not rich. You're faking it. You're faking it.
At least a freaking monocle.
Yeah.
Or you come from freaking, like,
Yeah, you're new money if you don't have a monocle.
New money.
Yeah, you're dirty new money.
Dirty new money.
Speaking of new money, Ed McMahon never handed out a giant check.
That's freaking...
Never.
Okay, so...
That gets you, right?
Yeah, I definitely remember, because I'm...
Showing up to the door with it.
Hey,
He was
Ed
at
McMahon.
Hey, Ed McMahon with a big old check.
I remember one of those, like,
wow.
Where's fucking Dick Clark?
Yeah.
Shouldn't Dick Clark be with you, Ed McMahon? No, he's not. Okay, just you delivering the checks these days? Because I think Dick Clark was...
Yeah, Ed McMahon
I
never gave us a check.
Sure remember.
That blows my mind. I remember the commercials.
Because they come out, we used to get the mailers with the clearinghouse.
And have his face on it.
Yeah, his face is on there.
Hey-o, Ed McMahon here. Yeah, and he's, what the fuck? Nope, never get. I dreamed about. Yeah, I know. I don't know. That's not Ed. I can't
Professor
get him.
X. I think you're doing.
I'm doing Professor X. I'm doing Patrick Stewart. Mild shock. I should work on a Patrick Stewart.
Yeah,
I don't got an Ed
Patrick
McMahon,
Stewart
but I might be
delivering
able to work
big
on
checks. Yeah,
that would be awesome. Actually, if Patrick Stewart delivered big checks, that'd be a dream. I do. I remember daydreaming though, like the lottery. Like you would think, what if they showed up to my house with the big fucking check? Nope, never Ed McMahon. Blew my mind to find out he didn't do that. Yeah.
Always.
No.
I think my mom bought so many damn magazines just to get a big check.
Like just hoping that she would get the entries.
Subscribed, and we have
like
so many
Field and Stream and shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you got to pick one.
Cigar aficionado.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, why are we listening? Why do we have Fancy Cat? All our cats are dead, Mom.
Because they didn't have a Fancy Goat magazine. If they had a Fancy Goat magazine,
she would have. Yeah.
You'd have been signed up immediately.
Yeah.
Immediately. Okay, so we've talked about all of the different misrememberings. We've talked about all of the different differences. Maybe they're not misrememberings, right? Maybe we need to get to the bottom of why would a group of people all misremember such innocuous things in such specific ways, in such ways that they're all the exact same. And I have a theory. I think all of these things are just they're small, right? Nelson Mandela dying or not's probably the biggest one, but all of it's like details. It's all little things. Or Sinbad. Yeah, sure. Or Sinbad maybe dying or not, like that.
Or Sinbad and
Sinbad in general is just a huge thing.
DeGrasse Tyson being
them being this,
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, sure. All of those huge. So many people say Reese's Pieces, but why? And I think it's because all these things are non-canon events. Hear me out. I know I'm getting back to like simulation theory and multiple universes, but I do think that that's it. I think that potentially...
Don't put me back in the simulation.
I won't get full... But I will get to alternate realities, because it's like, if there's an infinite number of universes, if there are, infinity is so huge. That means every little microscopic change that could happen happens an infinite number of times over, too. So if it's even just a universe where Berenstain becomes Berenstain and that's the difference, if there's an infinity universes... There's an infinite universes exactly like this one, and exactly where it says Berenstain instead of Berenstain, and they remember it the other way.
So if there's a deal where these people aren't, like, Jewish or whatever?
There could be, yeah, exactly. There could be an alternate universe where they're just not Jewish writers making children's bears, and there's some where they are. And I think...
Oh, I think there is a paint, like, they make stain called Bear Be...
Do they? Oh, yeah, there's a bear company. You did just blow this white bear stain. That's what we were talking about the whole time.
That's the whole damn thing. The bear people make paint.
They make stains. No, I really do think that these are non-canon events and that we have just experienced multiple realities. So what do you know about quantum immortality, Paul? Let me talk to you. LA9. Let me talk to you. Quantum immortality, the idea that we die, right? But when we die, our consciousness simply goes to a concurrent universe, a universe that's very similar to the one that we're in. So that no matter what, our consciousness continues. We're merging with ourselves thousands of times over each time we die in one of these universes.
So resurrected as something?
Almost you don't even notice, right? Like, have you ever been, like, driving in the car and suddenly you just felt like a weird sensation like that maybe you had just been hit, but you know you hadn't just been hit? Or
the
like
deja vu thing?
Kind of, a little bit. Like you're walking down the stairs and you're like, whoa, I feel like I should have just slipped there, but I didn't just slip. For me, in my head, it's like, I think I've died thousands and thousands of times, and my minds are just merging into a universe where these are the non-canon facts. Maybe tomorrow I'll be in a universe where the Monopoly Man does have a monocle, because this is just a non-canon, innocuous fact that the simulation's not worried about. They didn't expect us to notice. But enough of us noticed.
Or one where rich people don't wear monocles.
Yeah, bingo, exactly. But I'll remember, like the Beatles movie we brought up earlier yesterday, you got a handful of people from a different universe where the Beatles existed, and they remember everything about the Beatles. Now,
yeah.
I feel like that movie dropped the ball a little because the Beatles were so influential that there would have been a lot of different changes. I get it would have been hard to do, but like Coldplay and all those guys still existing the way they do, they would have been inspired. The music would have been totally... Yeah, the music would have been totally different. It's like, so... Yeah, it misses the mark a little on that. Still love Danny Boyle, still love the concept, but that's what I mean. Like, this guy wakes up and suddenly the universe is a different universe that he's in, and a handful of people. For me, that's like a really good narrative explanation for a Mandela effect.
We're just doing the quantum...
Yeah, quantum immortality. Something changed. You died overnight and woke up in a universe.
So when you come back and you don't come back as a baby?
I don't think you ever come back. I think you just transfer. You flip the channel.
At a different age?
I think you merge into the same place you were. And I think you just...
And then you just re-die or you don't die?
I think...
I'm trying to make sense of this.
So... That person did die. That version of you did die in that universe. But you never notice. So you just merge into...
So you go back to the point when you were about ready
to die? You don't go anywhere. You merge right before you do die.
Oh, so you don't know when you've merged.
You don't know that you've merged.
And you don't know when.
You just feel... No, you don't. Yeah. You could have been 0 times, could be 1,000 times. And I think then... It all turns into like, you remember the one with Jet Li where he goes and he fights all the versions of himself till there's one?
Of course I remember the one with Jet Li.
That's what Jesus was.
Jet Li's Jesus?
Jesus was just a bunch of merged Jesuses who had all these powers from all these different universes, and he's like, watch this, bitches, I can walk on water. I think eventually that's where we get. We merge and merge. You
do it enough times,
yeah, you just have to learn.
Do it.
And you have to make sure you're constantly learning.
Groundhog Day this shit.
Yeah, if you don't learn, you just stay like us.
Yeah, but exactly what we talked about with the simulation theory, though, kind of.
Yeah.
But
you just got to improve yourself
better
and better.
But how would you know to learn from it?
Well, you just...
Oh, because you get these deja vu-y things?
I mean, maybe, or maybe it's
because
just...
Because of the Mandela Effect?
Or maybe it's just you have to experience it. It's Sisyphus. You have to experience it over and over and over until you learn the lesson.
I think Sisyphus
never got out. He knows the lesson.
That rock,
yeah,
right?
He does. So it's Sisyphus without the knowledge. We have to learn what we're doing, and it's on you. You experience it enough, eventually your mind evolves, and eventually you find the universe where you're the one with all the powers. Yeah. All of that's just a bunch of bullshit I just, am making up. But I kind of like it.
It's like that. It's like that famous, it's like Robert Frost said.
Yeah, the poem?
Yeah.
The road in the woods diverged.
No.
I took the one I was traveled by.
Are we human or are we dancers?
Oh, that Robert Frost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are we human? Or are we dancers? Either way, don't tell the people of the country of Georgia that the Russians are your brothers. Sorry, killers. That was a bad move. But yeah, I mean, I think, it's weird because maybe we all just are making the same common misunderstandings. Maybe we all are just wired the same way to misremember the same things in the same way, and maybe it's just a situation where evolution was lazy. Maybe evolution was just lazy, and we're all so similar that we all make the same mistakes.
I'm 50, and I still freaking...
Yeah. We always make mistakes. I misremember so much stuff.
Fucking up the same way.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Yeah. We're all Sisyphus at the end.
God
so it's like, We're
all dancers.
We're all dancers. In the end, are we human or are we dancers? And I think we're dancers, and I think we will continue dancing until this universe passes on us and we merge into another where Curious George has a tail.
Hey, you know what?
What?
Here's one.
Yeah, I'm in.
Let's do it. Curious George did the what's her name? The monkey lady.
Jane Goodall.
Jane Goodall.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did she what kind of primates did she deal with?
Gorillas, right?
No, she didn't. It was
chimpanzees, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was chimps. Also, Curious George, chimp. He was a chimp.
He's not a monkey.
That's why he didn't have a tail. Yeah.
He's not a monkey.
Gorillas in the Mist, not about her.
That's literally what was in my head, was Gorillas in the Mist. When you asked, I was like, Gorillas in the Mist, right? So Jane Goodall. But no, it's not Gorillas in the Mist. It's because I watched a thing on her recently. It was chimpanzees. That's wild. Yeah, because it makes, oh man, my brain's melting right now because I'm linking like Coco and all this stuff that's not related. My brain just put it all together, and that's not what it was.
And here's a new one. I think we're winding down here. Probably.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, let's hit everything.
Yeah, and here's a new one that we have about our show.
Oh.
About the freaking. They think that every one of our shows we mention our penises.
Ooh, that's true. I don't know that we did this time.
But we didn't.
Until right now.
Until right now. So
and that doesn't count because we're talking about the discussion.
Yeah, it doesn't count. Talking about penises.
So suck on that.
Suck on that.
We didn't even mention dicks.
Suck on that
shit. See? Penis-free content here at the Arson Club. No penises. Well, we've said penis now like 100 times. So listen, I'm sorry. I mean, I had fun. This was good. I liked this. I have a non-Mandela Effect thing I kind of just want to throw out there just for fun.
Okay.
You've been following UFO stuff?
Ooh, yeah. We should do UFOs.
I think we should.
I think freaking UFOs, aliens.
Yeah, I think maybe in the coming weeks we're going to do a UFO bit, but just real quick, because this is in my head and I want to say it out loud, so they're talking about all these things that are flying around, and the way they move is so crazy, and it can just stop and turn and move.
Right.
And this links back to simulation theory. What if all these UFOs, these unidentified flying objects, are just us being able to see the fucking cursor in the program clicking and dragging? What if it's just the cursor of the simulation, or what their version of a cursor is?
I see,
flying
like
around.
The residue, whenever you got like a light pen or something.
Yeah,
you can see.
Yeah, and so you've got all. Yeah, exactly that. What if it's that? What if it's just cursors? And then you can go back and you think about how it's like people got abducted or cows got abducted. What if they just got clicked and dragged somewhere else? Like you click a sim. I just had to say that out loud real quick because that's been bugging me.
Nice. Well, thanks for getting that. Also, I have some news affecting
I'm in.
me.
I want to hear it.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes' baby. Allergic to peanuts.
What?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
That little legume. He's not going to be able to enjoy peanut butter.
Yep.
You know what he'll never be able to eat?
in my news feed.
You know what he'll never be able to eat? Reese's Pieces.
God damn
it. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the Bottom Boys cast. If you have a Mandela Effect that's been affecting you,
we should do
leave
nuts.
it in the comments. We should get to the bottom of nuts. Why
nuts.
Why it's so
I'm
nuts
telling you
that we're allergic to these nuts.
And I nobody's allergic to them when I was young.
Yeah. I know.
I don't know any old people allergic to nuts.
No. And now if they want to
get something going on with nuts.
Yeah.
That's our next. We're gonna do freaking nuts.
Okay. We're gonna do nut allergies. We're gonna do UFOs. And we're gonna just shoot the shit sometimes too. Our old buddy Brandon is coming back into town in a couple weeks. Back when we were Lucha Raptor, he was in there, so he'll probably be joining us for something. I'll ask him what he wants to talk about: aliens or nuts.
Oh yeah. Show your shirt.
We got the Arson Club official member T-shirt.
Shirts.
That's right. We got shirts.
We got shirts. We got Bottom Boy stickers. We got
stickers. We got shirts. We got merch. Hit us up. Follow us at Arson Club KC, TikTok, Instagram, etc. Facebook, I think we're on. We're on most everything. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever fine podcasts are sold. And yeah, I mean, I think that might be it for this week. Let us know if you got a subject that you really, really, really need somebody to get to the bottom of, because they're starting to pile up. They're starting to pile up. We got nuts. We got aliens. We got some other things. So hit us up. Follow us. Smash that subscribe button. Give us 5 stars. It doesn't really matter. We just want someone to care.
Yeah. Make some comments. I like to read those. I would like to read those if we ever get a comment.
Yeah, I would love to read some comments. Yeah, I would love to get comments on a video that is not snake related. That would be incredible. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
Bottom boys,
out. Now, before you go, stick around real quick, because we sent Paul out on the streets to find out how the Mandela Effect is affecting regular people.
Just gonna ask you some questions, see if you and just respond with what you think, whatever. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. What does Mickey Mouse's tail look like?
Shit, I don't even know if he got one.
Okay. Yep, he got a tail. Looks like a regular mouse tail. What does, okay, are you familiar with Pikachu?
I don't even know that I ever looked to see if he had a tail.
The what?
Mickey Mouse tail. He got one?
He got a tail. That's a Mandela Effect, my man. Huh. You know, Curious George?
Yeah, the monkey.
The monkey. What does his tail look like? What color?
Monkey's tail.
Like a monkey's tail? Brown? Yeah, no tail. He doesn't have a tail. What is
You gotta put these pictures up. I need to see this for myself. Okay, go next.
What is you trust me?
I trust you. I just don't trust myself now.
What is what's the Monopoly Man look like? Just describe the
top
Monopoly.
hat,
Mm-hmm.
cane.
Cane. Do you have a cane?
He has a cane.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of people think he has a monocle, but
a monocle,
mm-hmm.
but he actually has a cane. Does he have a cane?
When he's doing like your old folks benefit or something, maybe he has a cane. I don't know.
He doesn't have one, or
a cane?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he does. Fuck! Now you're reverse Mandela Effect me. What does Mickey Mouse's tail look like?
Does he have a tail? A mouse tail, I assume. I don't think he has a tail.
He does have a tail.
Okay.
Like a mouse's tail.
Okay. Like a mouse's tail.
Have you ever had a cup of noodles? Mm-hmm. You haven't, because they're just cup noodles. There's no O or of.
Really?
Cup noodles. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. In that song, "We Are the Champions," you know that song? Mm-hmm. And at the end, he goes, "We are the champions." Well, how's it end? I guess the song.
Isn't it My Friends?
What's that?
My Friends?
Just stops. We are the champion, and then doesn't go anything else. But it does continue. Okay, here's some stuff for you. What's here's this. What how do you pronounce that?
Reese's Pieces.
What's that?
Reese's Pieces.
You sure it's not Reese's Pieces? Pieces? Reese's Pieces?
Oh my goodness, it does says Pieces.
Does it?
Well, it says Pisces. Well, I see.
Oh, man.
This is.
Never mind.
This is.
What's this? How do you pronounce this word?
The top one?
No, where my thumb is.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Ramen.
Not ramyun? Never mind.